Let's talk about overcoming the flesh. As we grow in Christian life, we encounter personal problems in the world, by the devil, and works of the flesh. The flesh does not refer to the body, nor emotions, not even sexual desires. The flesh refers to human nature separated from God, functioning apart from Him, and thus acting in opposition to Him. It is the sum of man's tendencies and desires, which run contrary to God's law. Works of the flesh such as materialism, adultery, hatred, drunkenness, sorcery, selfish ambitions, jealousy, rudeness, revelries, envy, idolatry, murders, dissensions, and the likes. The question is, how can we please God? There are two ways: rely to ourselves or rely to the Holy Spirit. When we rely to self, we attempt to understand God's desires, decide to obey, and then exerts all His willpower to fulfill God's laws. This does not work very well. It usually causes frustration. The second method of pleasing God is to rely upon the transforming power of the Holy Spirit. To overcome the flesh, we must constantly yield to the Holy Spirit. How do we yield to the Holy Spirit? We surrender. We desire to actively obey. We have faith the transformation will happen. We are thankful. We rejoice in all circumstances. We exercise God's authority, and we set aside resentment. Lastly, be part of a committed Christian community, our Couples for Christ. God has given us CFC to be a strong support in our growth, in our family's growth, and to be a good example to our children. We can overcome the flesh as we live more and more God's life in us. God has started a good work in us and will complete it through love. The end.